Special greetings to everyone. This is the voice of your humble servant, Lumen Christie from Lumen Christ Digital Assets Academy. In this particular video of today, just like I've done in many others, I'm going to be teaching you about a certain opportunity. As a matter of fact, it's knowledge I want to share with you on a certain opportunity. I would say a very wonderful opportunity, an opportunity which is like none other in the domain of digital assets. If you are a crypto enthusiast, then this opportunity is certainly for you. I want to teach you in few steps how you can get to make a lot of money for yourself from the comfort of your home by making use of the internet through the smart device that you have in your hand. So if you are an owner of a smart device, trust me, the only thing that separates you with wealth, or the distance between you and wealth, is a matter of the kind of knowledge, the quality of what you know is measured by the quality of what you know. So right now, I want to use the opportunity to enrich your knowledge on a certain powerful opportunity that can help you through the internet space make a lot of money. In fact, that will eventually make you to be referred to as a wealthy person, not a rich person, because it's a difference between a rich man and a wealthy man. A wealthy man is somebody who has more than enough, so much so that he can be able to impact the lives of others. So in few seconds, I'm going to be diving straight into the real business of the day to show you exactly what this opportunity is and exactly how you can get started. But just before I do, please, very important, do well to click on the subscribe button, so much so that whenever subsequent videos come up, you will be the first to get the alert so that you can be able to consume the content of the video. But very quickly, a very short disclaimer, very, very important, because we are actually dealing with, cryptocurrencies or digital assets. As you all know, every business has its ups and downs. So it's better you know both ends very well. Have knowledge on the ups and, of course, knowledge on the downs. It's absolutely very important in every business. So as a matter of fact, this opportunity I want to talk to you about is brought or is made available to us by a certain powerful company that goes by the name Platin World. Most of you probably watching this video at this point maybe have one or two information about this particular company. Maybe there is something you know about this company, but just in case you don't really know much about this company, then the rest assured, I'm going to give you knowledge on what this company is all about, maybe through one of its products, which is the product I want to really concentrate my energy on in this particular presentation. So like I said, a very short disclaimer, as a matter of fact, there are three of them. I want to make you understand that the content of this slide is solely for information purposes and constitutes no call to action. So you are therefore advised as an individual to do your own analysis and take your own decisions. Remember, like I said, there is no business which is 100% risk-free. Even if it's a business that is set up by you as a person, you can't put any guarantee on that business that it is going to stay alive till the next day. Nobody can actually, put such assurances on any business or on any business, even if the business is actually put in place by the person in question. So it is also worthy of note that the content, in fact, part of a huge portion of, this presentation slide is susceptible to what? To changes or to modifications. And that is capable of being done by the company. It means that the company is liable or has the sole responsibility to modify part or the entire content of what I'm going to be presenting to you, in this particular video as it may deem fit. So nothing that I present to you right here in terms of figures or in terms of the amounts you'll be seeing, whether in dollars or in euros or in whichever currency, is fixed. They are all susceptible to changes as the dynamics of the markets can get to impose at some point in time. So it's absolutely important that we take that into consideration. So like I earlier said, the name of the company, as a matter of fact, is Platin World. And Platin World, as a matter of fact, has been able to make available several products, but there is one of them which I want to concentrate on in this particular video. And this particular product goes by the name DeFi-U. DeFi-U stands for decentralized finance. That's the meaning of DeFi. DeFi means decentralized finance. Now, every project, every decentralized project, or rather every decentralized finance project, has at its center a certain currency that manages it. So in this case, the currency that manages this decentralized finance system goes by the name ULTIMA token. So the ULTIMA token is a currency that animates the ecosystem, which is built around this DeFi or this decentralized finance project. Reason why you see it abbreviated DeFi-U. So U is actually standing for the currency. Now, what is actually the principal mission of this company that goes by the name Platin World? In simple terms, the principal mission of this company is to put in place a digital currency with the biggest and, of course, well-known ecosystem in the world of cryptocurrencies. So those who are actually enthusiasts in the crypto domain, they'll be able to make use of a certain digital asset that has been put in place by this company, of course, which goes by the name ULTIMA token, like I already mentioned. And this ULTIMA token will permit these crypto enthusiasts to be able to do all types of cross-border transactions, which before now they are not capable of doing, probably using other cryptocurrencies that exist in the market, because other cryptocurrencies have several limitations, which have been improved upon by this particular ULTIMA token. So somebody will probably be asking, why should I actually trust in this one? You might not actually give you 100% trust in this one, but let me show you some elements that can actually serve as an impetus for you to get to jump quickly on this project that you will readily do for other projects. Why? Because number one, this particular project or this particular company has been in existence since the year 2016. And we are actually in the year 2024. So how many years? You can do the mathematics for yourself. So that simply tells you that this is a company that is actually out to do genuine business. Not just that, it's not just about the longevity, but what has this company been doing all over the years, for these years that they have been existing in the market? What marks have they been able to put in the market? Number one, they have been able to demonstrate proof of a unique concept, proof of a unique business model, and of course, proof of a unique technology, just like they equally have proof of utility, which I'm going to be expatiating on in a moment. Not just that, but for over these years, they have been able to build a community that spans way beyond 2,800,000 persons globally. So have a community of more than 2,800,000 persons. So that should already tell you a lot. And of course, it's still growing. And again, very important to note is the fact that this particular company putting in place this cryptocurrency that goes by the name ULTIMA token has been able to connect the cryptocurrency to the real world economy. Because any cryptocurrency that is not backed by physical product or maybe backed by something which has high value, then it is but obvious that such a cryptocurrency has the tendency to disappear from the market at some point. Why? Because what sustains the value of a cryptocurrency upward is the use case, is the utility of the cryptocurrency. It is the number of people that are ready to accept that cryptocurrency in exchange for products or services. So what are these products or services that can actually be gotten thanks to this particular cryptocurrency ULTIMA token? These are some of the elements that the company has been put in place that constitute the ecosystem of this particular cryptocurrency. In other words, a good number of products and services have been built around this cryptocurrency, or with the cryptocurrency at the center, which helps to do what? To maintain the value of the cryptocurrency upward, and of course, to keep pushing the value of the cryptocurrency upward, because people can actually relate with the cryptocurrency through the products in the real world economy or services that they are capable of getting. For instance, number one, this particular company has been able to put in place a cryptocurrency ATM card or debit card that has unique characteristics that no other company in the world has. There are other, of course, cryptocurrency ATM cards that exist in the world, but the characteristics that they have are way below the characteristics of the cards that this particular company has put in place, which goes by the name ULTIMA debit card. Now, what are some of the particularities of the ULTIMA debit card? Number one, this particular card is capable of hosting up to, at the moment as I speak, you have the possibility to load up to 12 different currencies on this particular ATM card, with 7 of these currencies being in the crypto space. Means that there are 7 different cryptocurrencies you can load on this card, and there are 5 different fiat currencies you can also load on this card. Now, let us look at the cryptocurrencies that can be loaded on this card. And mind you, any of such cryptocurrencies that you load on this card, the only favor you need to do to yourself is locate the nearest ATM machine to you, slot the card inside, and that card is going to make sure, in fact, the cryptocurrencies that you actually loaded inside will be converted directly into the fiat currency used in the country where you are making use of the ATM machine in. This should already tell you a whole lot, because many people who are into the cryptocurrency space usually have the difficulty of getting to convert the digital assets they have invested in for real money. So this one is a tool, it's a very powerful product that the company has put at our disposal, so much so that whoever has the cryptocurrency of the company, which is the ULTIMA token, instead of going to look or negotiate with somebody who can buy it, or maybe looking for means to convert it to USDT or any other, mainstream cryptocurrency before you make use of it, simply load it on the card, locate the nearest ATM machine, slot it inside, and you get the fiat equivalent directly. That is not to say that you cannot convert the same ULTIMA token to other cryptocurrencies, such as USDT, BTC, and other ones. That possibility is also there. And you can get to do that maybe on some exchange markets, which we are going to be looking at maybe in a moment as well. So some of the mainstream cryptocurrencies that can be loaded on this card, like I said, there are 7 of them. You have the first is the ULTIMA token itself, which is a cryptocurrency of the ecosystem. If you have ULTIMA tokens, you can load inside. If you have USDT, you can load inside. If you have BTC, you can load inside. If you have EOS, you can load inside. If you have Bitcoin Cash, you can load inside. If you have Ethereum, you can load inside. So there are up to 7 different cryptocurrencies you can load on this particular card. That is remarkable. Then talking about the fiat currencies, the international fiat currencies that this card also can host, you have the US dollar, you have the Great British Pound, you have the euros, you have the Chinese yuan, you have the Japanese yen. These are the 5 fiat international currencies that you can load on this card. And you make use of it everywhere, in fact, anywhere you find yourself in this world. You can even get into a shop, you want to purchase something. You can do the payment of whatever it is you want to purchase through a POS terminal. You can use a POS terminal and you do the payment directly using this card. That is one amazing product that this company has been able to put in place. Now, among other products, we have what they call cashback vouchers. I will not expand more on, vouchers in this particular video, because there are other videos that I've made that are actually doing a lot of explanations on what this cashback vouchers is. Just imagine for a second, you are capable of buying a voucher, and once you do the purchase of the voucher, you have the possibility of getting 50% of whatever you spend to purchase the voucher given back to you. That's why they refer to the cards as 50% cashback vouchers. So whatever amount of money you spend to buy the voucher, 50% of that amount is given back to you. But it's not given back to you immediately. It is given back to you over a time frame of 12 months. Means that they will share that 50% by 12 months. And every month you are getting an integral portion of that 50%. And you will get the entire 50% over a duration of 12 months. And there's a genuine reason why it has to be distributed over a period of 12 months. So if you watch my videos where I'm actually doing a lot of discussions on cashback vouchers, you get a detailed explanation as to why it has to be distributed over a period of 12 months. It's for the stability of the currency in the market. That is number 2. Number 3, we also have what we call a marketplace, where people can actually get to do shopping online from big giants in the domain of e-commerce, such as Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, Shopify, Taobao. You can get to purchase a good number of things from these online shops. And you do the payment directly using what? ULTIMA tokens. You can purchase these things using an ULTIMA token because the company has been able to put in place an interface that does the conversion of your ULTIMA tokens directly to the currencies that Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, and the rest are accepting, such as US dollars. So, which means that with your ULTIMA tokens directly through this platform, you can do the purchases directly using the ULTIMA tokens. Number 4, we also have an exchange, which is like Binance, the Binance exchange, Coinbase, Coinbit, and many other exchanges in the market. The company also has its own exchange, though it is not operational yet, but it's going to go operational before the end of this year, 2024, hopefully. And on that exchange, the main cryptocurrency on that exchange platform is the ULTIMA token, meaning that every other currency that will be listed on that exchange will have a pair with ULTIMA token directly. They will also have a travel platform. With this travel platform, if you want to travel maybe from one part of the world to another, definitely you have to purchase a flight ticket through a flight agency. Now, this company has made it possible for us through this travel platform to be able to purchase such flight tickets with a cashback or with a discount up to about 90%. That's not just for tickets alone, but for hotel reservation. You can actually get to do hotel reservations in a particular country through this particular website, and you do the reservation using what? ULTIMA token. The advantage you get for doing the reservation using ULTIMA token is that you stand a chance of benefiting from a discount which goes up to 90%. It's not a mistake I make. I said 90%. 90%. So you can actually, you know, have a discounted price up to 90%. We have other platforms such as the auction sales, like you see the where you can actually get to buy very expensive cars at almost no cost, simply because you are doing the purchase using what? Using the ULTIMA token. We also have a crowdfunding platform. I've not put every element that constitutes, you know, the ecosystem of the company here because there are so many of them. We have a crowdfunding system whereby somebody who has a project can actually get to raise funds on that particular crowdfunding system to be able to sponsor his or her project. We have the cars program also, where people can buy cars using the ULTIMA token, and they stand a chance to get a 50% cashback also. You have the real estate program, which this company also has put in place, where people can get to buy houses, buy lands, and many other things. And they stand a chance of getting discounted also on such prices, thanks to the fact that they are making use of this ULTIMA token, which is a mainstream cryptocurrency of this ecosystem. So this is to tell you that with all these products and services in the real world economy, which you can get using this particular ULTIMA token, which is in the crypto space, that tells you that even people who are illiterate in the domain of cryptocurrencies will develop interest in these particular products. Why? Because they know the advantages they will get from the 50% cash back, for instance, to the ease with which they can easily have their digital assets converted for their local currencies. So these people will start streaming in. They will need these products, these services. And the underlying condition is the fact that for them to be able to benefit from all of this, they will have to require what? ULTIMA tokens. That means they will have to go to the market and start buying these ULTIMA tokens. That is demand created for that particular cryptocurrency. And when the demand increases, what happens to the price? The price also has to increase because the supply of the ULTIMA token in the market is restricted. How is it restricted? That's exactly what I'm going to be showing you in a moment. So the major question for us, not to go too deep into the history of the company, who is the owner of the company? Of course, the owner of the company is Alex Reynard. If you really want to know more about, you know, the company, who is the owner of the company, where is he based, where is the headquarters of the company, are they represented in other countries legally, and so on. Of course, I'm going to be talking about that in a short while. There are other presentations which I've done where I'm actually expatiating more on the personality of the CEO. In fact, what he has been doing in the crypto space, just to say it in passing, is one of the best icons in the domain of blockchain technology. Is one of the finest brains in the world. But that is not actually our main point of concern for now. Let us go straight to the matter so as to keep the video short. Now, the next most important question is how to get started with this ULTIMA DeFi. And let me say this before I show you how to get started with it. Through this ULTIMA DeFi, the way it has been designed is in such a way that, or is such that, even if it's somebody who doesn't know how to read nor write, because that's a major difficulty that some people face in the domain of cryptocurrencies. It's almost like cryptocurrencies are meant only for people who are crypto literate or for people who can read and write. No. Alex has simplified his own system and made it such a way that even if you are an illiterate of the highest category, you can still be able to make money in this system. Why? Because there is nothing you are expected to be reading all the times or doing in particular all the times, apart from clicking on a certain button. Once you click on a certain button, you receive your payment for that day. This is a system that has been put in place that is capable of paying you money directly in USDTs every blessed day for the next 100 years. Means that once you get involved with this system, you are paid every day. I said every blessed day for the next 100 years and above. So how do you get started with this? Very simple. This is a procedure you need to follow. Number one, you need to have an account created for yourself on the website of this company. So you need to go to the website, create an account for yourself. And of course, for you to create that account, the person who spoke to you about this business, whoever introduced this business to you, you have to get back to that person. The person will give you his or her referral link. You use it, you create an account for yourself. It's free. Once you are done creating that account, the next thing you need to do is to purchase something called a license. Because you can't get involved with this business without obtaining a license. So you need to purchase what we call a license. After purchasing the license, there is one more thing which you need to purchase, which is called a split contract. Now, what is a split contract? In simple terms, a split contract is a share. Like when you hear that somebody owns maybe 1 or 2 shares with a particular company. So in this business, we don't actually use the word share. We substitute the word share with the expression split contract. So when I say split contract, it has the same connotation as the word share, or the shares that somebody owns with a particular company. So it's exactly the same thing. So that is to tell you that somebody can own 2 shares with this company, 3 shares, 10 shares, 50 shares. So instead of me putting it that way, I will say somebody has a possibility to own 2 split contracts, 10 split contracts, or 50 split contracts. I'm actually talking about shares. It's the same thing. But remember, each domain has its own terminologies that they would like to employ so as to make itself distinct from others in the market. So assuming that you've been able to go through these 3 stages successfully, there is one more thing that you need to be doing every day. And that one thing is receiving the daily benefits, receiving the payment every day. That's what we call daily rewards. That is the last thing you need to do. So first thing, creation of the account, which is free. Second thing, you need to purchase a license, without which you will not be able to become a partner with a company or with a business. And lastly, you need to purchase the shares, which is what we call the split contracts. It's very, very important. Now, what is the company saying? The company is simply telling you that you need to own, you need to be a shareholder on its system. And you are going to be paid every day in function of the number of shares, which is what we refer to as split contracts. So once you have split contracts with the company, that makes you a shareholder. And that means every day, the payment you are going to be receiving will be a function of the number of split contracts or the number of shares you own. Now, probably when I say this, somebody might not readily be able to figure out exactly how all of this plays out. But now let me explain in a very simple way how you get a payment every day and what are the conditions for you to receive the payment, or how much are you expected to get on daily basis, and how is that evaluated? Simple. Just imagine for a second that I have a certain fish pond. Let me make an analogy with it, with a fish pond. Now, assuming that I have a fish pond, this is what I can do. It is either I fill the fish pond with fishes. Then the fishes that I'm growing inside the fish pond, when I want to do the sales, I bring out the fishes and I go and sell, and I keep the entire amount of money to myself. That is one possibility. The second possibility is that I might not actually have the entire amount of money that I need to fill the pond with fishes. So what do? I can decide to tokenize the fish pond. To tokenize it means what? To make it possible for people to own shares on my fish pond project. So I can decide to tell people that, assuming that the fish pond I intended to have 50,000 fishes inside, and I don't have what it takes to fill the pond with the entire 50,000. Or let's even assume that I have all the fishes to put inside, but I decide not to do it on my own because I want to bring other partners on board. What do? Now I begin to sell what we call shares. Now I tell everyone out there that if you want to benefit from my project, then you need to own shares on my fish pond project. How do you own shares? To own a share means you need to contribute at least 1 fish. Be a fish contributor in my fish pond. So that simply tells you that somebody will come in with 1 fish and say, okay, I want to be a shareholder on your fish pond project. Now I'm coming in with 1 fish. Maybe 1 fish represents 1 share. I could decide to make it that way. Now, somebody will be asking, what is then the advantage of somebody coming in with 1 fish and being a shareholder owning 1 share through the contribution of that fish? The advantage here is that every blessed day, there is a certain quantity of fishes that I will be bringing out of this fish pond right from day 1, which I'm going to be sharing to all those who are shareholders on the fish pond. Then I now tell all of them that they are going to be getting such distribution every day for the next 100 years. For instance, somebody came in with just what? 1 fish. But I've told the person that though you're coming with 1 fish, which is representing just 1 share, but be rest assured, every blessed day, I'm going to be giving you fish, which is coming out of my fish pond. Every day, you'll be getting at least, even if it's going to be 1/4 of a fish, it doesn't matter. But the truth is, you are going to be getting fish every day that you can be consuming in your home every day for the next 100 years and above. Now, it is not the person's problem to understand how I'm going to be providing the person with a fish. All you need to do is be a shareholder in this my fish pond project. Just be a shareholder. And the quantity of fish you will be benefiting from me will be a function of the number of shares that you have. So the more shares you have, the more in fact, the bigger the fraction or the more fishes you are going to be getting from me every blessed day also for the next 100 years. Now that's the way I put it. Somebody might decide to come in with 10 fishes, means that the person wants to own 10 shares. Another person comes in with maybe 20 fishes, means that the person has 20 shares. Some other person comes in with 100 fishes. He puts inside the fish pond, means the person has what? 100 shares. Now, what will happen is anybody who comes in with any quantity of fishes, the quantity of fishes the person is bringing represents the number of split contracts. That's what we refer to as split contracts in this case, or the number of shares that the person owns on my fish pond project. Then what do I say? Those fishes that the people have contributed, once they enter inside the fish pond, I will make sure that the fishes will stay inside that fish pond for the next 50 years. None of those fishes will come outside. None of the fishes will come outside. So they will stay inside for 50 years, which means I am creating scarcity in fish on the local market because everything is locked up inside my fish pond. Then the quantity of fishes that the people will be receiving every day because they are shareholders on my fish pond project will be determined by me. I'm the person who decides what quantity will be distributed every day. I make that decision from day one and I spell it out for everybody. So every blessed day, there's a certain quantity of fish that will come out of my fish pond. That quantity of fish that is coming out of my fish pond will be divided by the total number of split contracts. In other words, the total number of shares that are found in the system. Assuming that all those who have contributed fishes in the fish pond, let's say those shares correspond to 100 shares that everybody put together has been able to purchase. Then I can decide to say, okay, every blessed day, only 10 fishes will come out of my fish pond that will be divided by the total number of shares. In this case, 100 shares. So if we divide 10 by 100, that fraction represents the total quantity of fish that each person that has at least one share, in fact, that will represent the fraction that each share is going to attract as a fish or as a portion of the fish. In other words, the 10 fishes that are coming out of the fish pond, that decision was taken by me. So every day you have 10 fishes going out. What is the quantity of fish that each person, each shareholder is going to get? So I first of all divide 10 by the total number of shares in the system. It will give me maybe that 0 point something. That's in this example of 10 fishes going out shared to 100, split contracts, so 100 shares. That gives you maybe right about 0.1. Now that means that for anybody who has one share in the system, the quantity of fish that the person is going to get for that particular day will be what? That 10 divided by 100. That is the quantity, that's the fraction that corresponds to, the size of the fish that each person with at least one share is going to get. Then assuming that somebody has 10 shares inside, then multiply the size of one share, which is that 10 divided by 100, multiply it now by 10. You now see the quantity that that person is going to get out of the 10 fishes. So whatever number of shares that somebody has, each share is going to correspond to 10 divided by 100. So we can now take that fraction, multiply by the number of shares that each person inside that total group of 100 shares is going to get. It's as simple as that. So that means that for you to actually earn a bigger fish size, you need to also have what? More shares. So the more shares you get, the bigger will be the size of the fish that you're going to be getting also every day. Then let's say by tomorrow, some new persons come in and they decide also to buy their own shares. So much so that the total number of shares in the system now moves up to 200. It moves from 100 to 200. The same quantity of 10 fishes is what I have said will be distributed every day. It will not go up again, means I will not increase the quantity. Rather, I have the possibility to drop down the quantity. But let's assume that it's still the 10 fishes that will be shared. Now, the total number of shares in the system now stands at 200. So I will still be able to take the same 10 fishes and divide it by 200 shares. You see that the fraction goes even smaller. But mind you, for the number of shares to grow from 100 to 200, it definitely means that the people who have bought those extra shares inside, they made use of something. I'm going to show you exactly how to buy the shares. Now, I also make it in such a way that anybody who wants to buy shares will first of all have to go and buy fishes, the fishes that have been maybe distributing to the first 100 shares, the fishes that have been given to them. So others who are coming in to buy their own shares will have to go first to the market and buy fishes from those who have been benefiting from the fishes that I'm distributing every day. Now they will use those fishes to equally buy their own shares, means that to do their own contribution inside the pool. So that means demand is being created outside. So if you see the number of shares increasing, that means the demand for the fishes also is increasing in the market. So that simply tells you that the price is going to be moving upward. So if you have understood this explanation, then it definitely means you have understood the essential thing there is to understand with this particular system. Now, where you see written delegated liquidity pool, this is actually representing that fish pond which I talked about. Remember, we are in cryptocurrencies here. It's not actually about a real fish pond. Now, this is what I'm referring to as a fish pond. In this case, we call it the delegated liquidity pool. It represents that our fish pond. Now, what happens? These are members of the communities. Everybody wants to benefit from what this pool will be offering every day. But the condition is you need to do what? You need to own shares on the system. How do you own the shares? You need to own shares by contributing what? Fishes inside this fish pond. And the fishes I'm actually referring to here are what we call the ULTIMA tokens. So you need to go and get ULTIMA tokens, which is what is referred to as liquidity. You transfer the ULTIMA tokens into this delegated liquidity pool. It's like somebody sending fishes into the fish pond. So once you do that, now the question here is, what quantity of ULTIMA tokens will represent one share? It's as simple as that. Now, that information also will be given to you in a moment. But what you should retain is, if you are able to provide the right quantity that is needed for you to qualify to be at least the owner of at least one share or 2 shares or 3 shares or whatever quantity of shares, then you need these ULTIMA tokens. Wherever you are going to get them is not an issue. It's not really the problem of the company. You can go to the exchange market, you buy from there. You use them, you send in here. So every other person, look at these members of the community, everybody who wants to benefit from there has to send ULTIMA tokens in here. By doing that, you are now owning what we call shares or split contracts. Now, in return, what will this fish pond do? Or what will this delegated liquidity pool do? It will be distributing what? A certain quantity of ULTIMA tokens to all the shareholders in here. In fact, it is not doing the distribution to all those who have bought shares, but it is doing the division by, or the distribution by the total number of shares that have been bought, because one person might own about 10 shares or 20 shares. So the total quantity that this delegated pool, liquidity pool, sends out every day is 51. In fact, even though you are seeing 50 tokens here, but actually it is 51.84. This is it actually written here. 51.84 ULTIMA tokens are distributed every day. That is what this delegated liquidity pool does. Now, like I said, when you transfer your ULTIMA tokens into this delegated liquidity pool, it's like somebody who is contributing his own fishes. Means that the person who wants to be a shareholder with a certain number of shares. And like I said, those ULTIMA tokens which are sent inside will remain frozen inside this liquidity pool for 50 years. Nothing comes out. Then from this pool, only 51.84 ULTIMA tokens will be coming out of the pool, distributed according to the total number of shares that have been bought in the system. I know somebody will start asking the question, okay, if the ULTIMA tokens have to stay inside for 50 years, then the quantity that is distributed every day, where is it coming from? The company already pre-filled a certain section of this delegated liquidity pool with its own ULTIMA tokens. So there are those ULTIMA tokens, or the ULTIMA tokens shared every day, are coming from the section that have been filled by the company. Then the ones that are sent by every other person through the purchase of split contracts stays inside the system for 50 years. Nothing comes out until after 50 years before it can join now the other ones inside, which have been pre-filled by the company, to start coming outside. That is to control the traffic or the rate at which new ULTIMA tokens are being sent into circulation. That is to avoid what? Market dump. So you see the control mechanism that is put in place. So this is like that delegated liquidity pool or that fish pond, which is here. All the fishes are inside here. Now this small hole sends only 51.84 ULTIMA tokens outside. And those ULTIMA tokens will be distributed to everybody according to the number of shares that each person has. Now, our system is purely decentralized, and has a lifetime pool or offers lifetime pool rewards. Now, assuming this person here, this is an individual who has up to 5 shares. Let's say this person owns up to 5 shares for now. The company has made it possible for you to get to